There's a weird moment that happens when you're editing a video. You watch it back and it's clean. The hook's there, the pacing feels good, and still something's missing. Like a beautifully wrapped gift box with nothing inside. A while ago, I spent 20 hours editing what I thought was one of the best videos I ever made. It had clean cuts, solid pacing, even a decent hook. I hit publish and watched 70% of viewers just scroll past the first 2 seconds. It was in that moment that I realized something. It's not about how good your video looks, it's about how good it feels. Because if people don't feel something, they scroll away. If the viewer doesn't feel tension, conflict, or curiosity, they're gone. And that's where storytelling comes in. So in this video, I'm not just gonna be giving you tips, I'm gonna walk you through the shift that changed everything for me. Because when you learn how to tell a story right, people stop scrolling. They start listening, and that's when your content actually starts to work. One of my favorite storytellers of all time is Christopher Nolan. Not just because of his plots, but because of how he shows you everything. His visuals don't just support the story, they are the story. And in The Dark Knight, he does something genius. No exposition, no intro. He drops you straight into the bank heist. You don't know who's who, but you watch anyway, because every second something shifts, someone lies, someone betrays, someone drops a clue. It's not just action, it's tension. He could have started the movie in a million different ways, but he chose this. No words spoken, but it still just makes you need to see what happens next. That's what an open loop does. It creates a mental itch, a small conflict in your mind. You see part of the picture, but not the whole, so your brain just can't stand the uncertainty. So it starts searching. Every new moment, a betrayal, a twist, a masked figure saying too little, it all just adds more friction. And that tension doesn't just exist between the characters, it exists in you. You're asking, who's really in charge? Who's gonna make it out? What's the bigger plan? That's the genius of open loops. They can pull you deeper without explaining a thing. This is how you grow on social media, and more importantly, how you turn viewers into customers. Here's the truth. People don't follow businesses, they follow feelings. Just like Nolan's bank heist, great business stories start with action, not explanation. You don't need to explain your entire business model. Start with the moment that changed everything. Your own bank heist scene that pulls people in. That's what makes people stop scrolling. Show the real turning points, and your audience will lean in. Lately, I've seen a lot of creators start their videos with a story or an open loop. Think of it like a TV episode that ends on a cliffhanger. Your brain can't help but wonder what happens next. That's exactly what an open loop does in content. It creates an unfinished story that your viewer's mind desperately wants to complete. I'll give you an example. Let's look at how visual effects can create open loops that keep viewers hooked no matter what you're selling. Like this jumping effect that Victor used to help promote his trucking service. It shows off what his business can do in a cool way, making people curious enough to watch the video multiple times and wonder, wait, how did he do that? 7.8 million views for a trucking business. Let that sink in. VFX techniques aren't just for show. It's a psychological trigger that makes viewers just want to see the resolution. If you want to learn how to create these effects yourself using just your phone, the link to the course will be in the description. Storytelling works no matter what niche you're in. We've had students in real estate, trucking, even parents making videos with their kids racking up millions of views. Not just by pushing their services, but by showing real stories that their audience actually cares about and connects with. Because that's what good storytelling does. When people see themselves in your story, they don't just remember you, they trust you, and that's what makes them stay. So the question I kept asking myself after studying guys like Nolan was, how can I tell stories like that but with my own life and my own content? That's when I came across something called a story lens. And once you learn it, you start seeing your own content in a completely different way. Think of a lens like the one on your camera. It doesn't invent anything. It just focuses on the light that's already there. It helps you choose what matters, what to zoom in on, what to blur out. It helps your viewers navigate from their problem to the solution. It decides what the viewers should pay attention to and what should fade into the background. It's like being at a nosy party, but focusing on just one conversation that matters to you. Not everything needs to be explained, but the right moment, framed the right way, can make your audience feel like they're part of it. When Nas Daily talked about the woman who wanted to live forever, he didn't mention what she does for a living or how many kids she has. Rather, he focused on what he really wanted the audience to know. Staying relevant to your message and your target audience can be a massive advantage when it comes to turning your viewers into customers, because then you focus on the content that they want to see. Imagine you're a real estate agent making content. Instead of just showing a house tour, before. You zoom in on the moment a family walks through their dream home for the first time. Their faces light up as they see the backyard where their kids could play. The mom hosting family dinners in the kitchen, the dad bathing his newborn child. That's not just a house tour anymore. It's a story about making dreams come true. And when potential clients watch that, they're not just seeing a property, they're seeing their own future home. It's how you create sticky content. Take Johnny Harris, for example. In his video, The Fastest Way to Learn a New Language, the video game map theory, he doesn't just teach the study method. He uses a lens hardly anyone talks about: navigation. He reframes language learning as a video game map. Suddenly, it's not a boring how-to, it's a journey. You feel like you're unlocking a secret level. The navigation lens is a perfect way to help your viewer learn anything and everything they want, not just a language. So if you're wondering, what kind of lens should I use? Here are 5 story lenses with examples that you can use to create your content. The emotion lens. Focus on what someone felt in the moment.
When I had $1,000 in my bank account, I thought about quitting basically every day. But what fueled me was the pain of going home and being seen as a failure. It hurt more than the pain of rejection, the uncertainty of success, and the exhaustion of trying one more time. And so whatever your fuel is, don't judge it, use it.
The transformation lens. Show the before and after.
This company went from 0 to 30 million in 3 years. But here's what's crazy. All that growth, all that revenue came from one single marketing hack. And I think a lot more brands could be stealing it.
The conflict lens. Highlight the challenge or tension. The curiosity lens. Lead with a hook that makes people lean in.
She has no followers, but she makes more money than someone with 1 million followers. The biggest misconception is that you need followers to make a lot of money online.
The teaching lens. Frame the story around a single actionable insight.
I don't know about stocks and shares. I don't know what to put my money in.
Yep.
I don't know what trading is. Where do I start?
Practical advice. Don't worry about it. Put money into, if you're in the UK, into a stocks and shares ISA, which is a savings account, or in America, your Roth IRA or 401k.
Let's talk about something powerful. What makes people remember your content? Think about it. Anyone can tell a story, but the best ones stick with you because they teach you something useful. That's what makes content share-worthy, giving people something that they can use right away. You've already shown the transformation. Now, don't leave your audience hanging. Once they see the before and after, they're hooked. This is where you hit them with the here's how you can do it too. In my videos, I don't just add flashy effects. I show exactly what changed. The speed ramp, the color shift, the crop. That's the takeaway. The goal isn't to be deep or dramatic. It's like handing them the key after showing them the lock. And when they apply it, they remember that you were the one who showed them. In business content, it isn't about being inspirational just for the sake of it. It's about giving your audience a takeaway that moves them closer to what they want to achieve. That takeaway could be lesson, reframe, or a next step, but it has to be sharp, specific, applicable, like a recipe with exact measurements, not vague instructions. When you end your video with something real, something that people can actually apply, you stop being just another creator. You become the one they come back to. That's the difference between content that gets views and content that builds a business. And if creating content feels like a burden, watch this next video to finally stop playing social media on hard mode.